Endgames, the most technical aspect to the game. When most people think of chess improvement, they imagine sharp openings, bold attacks, and tactical fireworks. But the deeper you go, the more you realize, as simple as it is, the endgame truly shows your understanding. Some of the greatest chess players are known for their endgame precision. Anatoly Karpov, Jose Raul Capablanca, Magnus Carlsen, all of them endgame experts. This portion of each match isn't just about technique, they're also about clarity. Patterns emerge and every move has a purpose. Simple things like knowing when to activate your king, converting a pawn majority, or even simply evaluating the position properly. These are the skills that separate strong players from the rest. If you want to improve as a chess player, understanding how the game ends is essential. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 endgame principles that elevated my game, and they can do the same for you. That was my attempt at an engaging intro. Y'all messing with it? All of that aside though, this video will be about the endgame and how you can improve at it. Endgames are one of those things that nobody really focuses on, but it's like one of the most important things. A good teacher once told me, how can you be good at the opening and middle game if you don't know where you're trying to go to? AKA the endgame. That was something that really stuck with me, and it's kind of made me want to dive in a little bit more into endgames and how to become better at them. Oftentimes, even at my own ELO, I see games being won and lost just because of a lack of endgame knowledge. Today, I'm not going to say the basic stuff that you probably already heard before. Stuff like learn theoretical endgames, push past pawns, put your rook behind the past pawns. Those things, while extremely important, you guys probably already know. So I'm going to touch on 3 different principles that kind of stuck with me and that I think might help you elevate your game. We're going to start with principle number 1, which is activity over everything. Now, when I mention activity, I'm mainly talking about your king, but the same can actually be applied to your pieces as well. For a quick rundown and quick overall of this whole principle or chapter, you want to get your king as close to the center as possible, and you want it to be as further advanced as possible. Like, you want your king to lead the charge for your pawns. You don't want to be behind your pawns. It's the end game now. You're not going to get checkmated, more than likely. You don't even necessarily have to be in like a pawn end game. If you have a piece or two, still this applies. Queen's on the board, it's a little different. But let's take this example right here. King, okay? Let's do this. Center 4 squares are right here, right? White king is obviously much closer to the right here, the center squares. If you count the pawns, black has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pawns compared to white's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You would think black would be winning, but looking at the eval bar, it's actually +3, strictly because of positioning. If we were to make a boneheaded move like taking this free pawn, all advantage gone, because now we've let the king get activated. So a move we actually have to do right now is to kind of keep this king back. Cut him off, don't let him back in the game. King activity matters just as much for not only yourself, but your opponent. You always got to think about what they want to do. If they want king activity, cut that off, don't allow it. So a move right now that I'm thinking of is to restrict these pawns right over here. Even pawns right here, even pawns right here-ish, but don't worry about that. So right now, a move that speaks to me right now would be to play h4. Boom, computer responds, and this is at max stockfish level, by the way. Boom, this move right here, trying to buy a little bit more time. Now a move I'm thinking about is like, I don't want him to like mobilize and then now has to rush the pawns down the board, because then it might be a sticky situation. So what I'm going to do right now is just to immobilize. Boom, he pushes a pawn, I'm going to take. Once again, my opponent, they're stuck, because if they move their king backwards in any direction, I'm now going to infiltrate, go start eating up all the pawns. So they got to make pawn moves. I'm going to go here, waste a little bit more time. Let's see. I can actually push here. Let's say he takes here, I freeze the pawns, right? So take, he takes this way, I go here, pawns are frozen, game is done, right? Visualize that if you can. So if I play here, let's say he takes this way, I can still freeze the pawns now, right? That's kind of speaking to me. So I'm gonna go here. Yep, so here, boom. Pawns are frozen. These now cannot do anything. The king can't even walk in to take this base pawn or this pawn. We got this move right here. I'm gonna take this way, okay? Frozen pawn. I am now able to back up to take this pawn because everything is frozen. I still have the opposition, so this king can still not infiltrate in this area. Activity over everything. Okay. I'm gonna play a move like, let's go here. Yep, let's go here, stopping the king from entering. We can now break. Now if he wants to enter, I push my passed pawn. So this is now a completely winning position, okay? As you see, I was able to make a queen. I'm just going down here, and now this is a really, really easy endgame to win. I don't even need to demonstrate for y'all. We'll have another video for queen winning easily one positions, okay? But activity over everything for it's like one of the most important things. Even if you're down material, activity matters. Hence why gambits work. Next up, we got principle number 2, which actually was something I struggled with for a long time, which is triangulation. In its most simple terms, is the attempt to get to the same position without it being your move. Stay with me now. I know that's kind of confusing if you've never heard of it before. Let's say we're in this position right here. It's white to move. I want to get back to this square, but I don't want it to be my move. Here's what I would do. Boom. Let's say they make a move right here. Boom. Let's say they go back. Boom. Back to the same exact square, but it's no longer my move. It's my opponent's move, okay? Now you might be thinking, that's stupid. Why do we need it? Trust. Lock in with me. Like, I got an example. I always got examples for y'all. Let me show y'all. Here we got Tal versus Spassky in one of their matches. I think it was for the candidates. Shout out to Hayden Pons for this example. I'm taking it straight from his video. Go check it out. It'll be linked in the description. Very good video. He actually explained this pretty well too. But since you're here, triangulation. So same scenario now where we want the ball to be in our move, but to be back in the same position, okay? So right now the white rook in this situation has to protect here. Can't really go anywhere pretty good, okay? So the only moves it can go is from here to here to here to here, okay? Back and forth, that's all I got. As you see from the eval bar, negative 5.4. Black is cooking. So boom, it's black's move, we go here, okay? We're attacking this rook. Where can this rook go? Backwards, not looking great, apparently. Actually, I don't know why. But the best move, according to the engine, I'm looking straight at the stockfish right now. Best move, here, okay? What next? Well, I want to end up back in this position right here, but I want the white rook to be here, and I want it to be their turn. So guess what I'm going to do? King d2. You know why? Because if this goes back, we push this pawn. That's not good for white. Can't push any of the other pawns. Can't move out the way, because that's going to be a free queen for us. Got to go back, right? Boom. We go here. They go back. We go back here. Where is this rook going to go now? We're back in the same position, but now it's their turn to move. They put the rook here, we take, right? They put the rook here, we take. They put the rook here, we take. They put their rook here, we take. Like, there is no win for our opponent, all because of triangulation. Let's say, so like the computer says, this is the best move, okay? Let's say they do something like this. Boom, now what? What are they gonna do? They can't go to a side because that's checkmate. We're back in the same exact position where no matter where this rook goes, it's an L. This is where triangulation can be in big effect. Anytime we're in a situation where we want to be back in the same exact position, but it's our opponent's move, golden, okay? Or it's our, let's say it's our move, golden. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? Money. Learn this, you're gonna win some games like this, trust me. Next up, we got principle number 3, and this is pawn breaks. We've all seen this position before now, and if you haven't, let me show y'all some. So right here, we got better king activity from our opponent's king. That's for the white pieces. Okay, our king's already stuck in a corner. However, eval bar says it's plus 25. We won. Why? Pawn breaks. So right here, you think 3v3, we can't do anything. So that's just not true. This is a technique. I don't know what it's called. It's a good technique. It was like one of the first things I ever learned from a coach. You push this pawn forward, okay? It looks like you're just, sacrificing a pawn. And, you're just gonna, get eaten. That's not what you do. So after here, of course, they're forced to take, because if we go here, or if they play like a mindless move, we go here and we're queening, right? So they're forced to take, naturally. So instead of naturally taking back, because if you take back here, it's not good. If you take back here, it's not good. What you do? Another pawn break. Boom. Now, they take here. Boom. Queen. Let's say they take here. Boom. You push. Cooking. There is no, you're going to win the game in these positions. But this all comes from you controlling the pawn breaks. If it was black's turn to move at the very beginning, might be a totally different story. They might actually be winning. So having control of pawn breaks is what will set you apart from your opponents, especially in endgame. So really keep in mind with this. Now let's move over to our live example though. Here we have another situation that I pulled from another YouTube video from Geek. Make sure you go check out his video. I have it linked in the description, okay? Another great example of how showing who controls the pawn breaks really controls the game. Right now we got, really good solid position for white. Black, pretty solid position as well. But if you see from the eval bar, black is winning. Okay, what pawn breaks do we have? We have right here, pawn break. Seems like it's controlled by black though, because the white king really can't get close, can't assist, and we control whenever it happens. Like, black can't force it to happen. Not a pawn break, only on a pawn break here. Now this seems like a losing pawn break, but it's actually best move. Okay, b4. Why is that a good move? Okay, let's say they take here. Okay, what do? You push this bad boy. Okay, now what? You gotta take, right? If you go back, boom. This seems pretty miserable, right? Nothing's gonna happen. You're more than likely gonna be queening on the next move. Okay, so let's say they take here instead of doing that. Boom, still queening. From a seemingly endless position, we got this. But let's say white understands this. You play b4. They go here. Now what? You take. Boom. Passed pawn. This white king is now stuck guarding here. You can go here, gobble up pawns, and you'll be able to queen before they get to. Controlling your pawn breaks and controlling when the pawn break even happens is in your favor. Let's say you play a different move though. You don't want to play this move because maybe you didn't see it. By going back, advantage completely gone, okay? And it's not even a natural move right here. Not even it. They go back. Oh, wrong one. King d1. It's important. Triangulation still matters. Let's say they go here. Once again, you can try to go back, but look what happens. They get a more advantaged position right now, okay? And now they also control when this pawn break can happen. Just be really careful, okay? Make sure you guys control the pawn breaks, be able to control your own destiny. You don't want to be in a position where you have to wait on your opponents to do something or to mess up before something happens. I know earlier I said that I had 3 tips for y'all in how to become better endgame players, but just because endgames are so hard, and I feel like there's a lot of information that I'm not probably saying, because there's probably going to be needed like 4 or 5 videos on this, I'm going to give y'all some bonus tips, okay? The bonus tip for this video is to actually know when to even enter an endgame. Let's say you're in the middle game, you're starting to trade down pieces and all that, and your opponent offers like to trade queens and get to an endgame, and you know you're in a losing position. Why would you enter a losing endgame? The right and wrong answer isn't as clear in the middle game versus the endgame. Endgames are pretty cut and dry. There's always the best move. There is no gray area. Versus the middle game, there's lots of gray area, which is whenever you're in a losing position, you need that gray area to hopefully claw back. Kind of going along with this, let's say you are in the endgame. It's also important to evaluate the position because you need to know whether you're playing for a win or playing for a draw. If you're in a losing position, play for that draw. If you start trying to go for the win, you're just going to throw the game away more than likely. Play for a draw, play aggressively. Your opponent might end up making a mistake, which if you're a low elo, they will make a mistake. You're going to either get the draw or they might make a big enough mistake where you can get a straight up win. But if you start playing ultra aggressive to the point where you're like chucking pieces, probably not the move. Know when to dial it back, know when to go aggressive. Remember, not every single game is meant to be won. Crazy as it sounds, it's the truth. You have to know when, certain things apply. Playing every game for a win is cool. I start off every game expecting to win. But if I get to like the middle game, end game, and I'm like, oh snap, I'm losing, I'm gonna play for that draw. I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna do what I think will get us the most points. Sometimes the most points is no points. It's a bar. This rule especially applies whenever you're in a drawn endgame as well. Of course, play it out. Don't offer a draw. If you have to repeat moves to keep the draw, of course do that. But don't go into an unnecessary draw. Draw it out, play it out. Your opponent will make the mistake more than likely if you understand what is a drawn position, okay? Knowing how to play drawn positions and create a draw from a drawn position, very important because your opponent might get impatient, get overly aggressive, and end up losing it for it. So always play it out. I'm not saying to play passive by any means. I'm just saying play to the game, not to what you want. That makes sense? Overall, endgames may seem very, very complicated. At the end of the day, it really is simple. You just gotta know a few things to help you get through it. Something that's really helped me a lot is to watch videos from Hanging Pawns, Gotham Chess, Daniel Naroditsky, Ben Feingold. These guys have helped me improve a significant amount, and I really, really encourage you to go check out their videos. Obviously, I got the ones that I pulled a little bit of content from straight in the description of the video, but seriously, just go look up chess endgames. You're gonna find some good stuff in there. I'm hopefully gonna be making a little bit more videos about it. I'll probably steer a little bit away from endgames and more on the things that I feel like I'm a little bit more solid about. But let me know if there's anything specific that you would like a video on. I'd be happy to make it. If you like what you guys see, please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. like, share, subscribe, all that. But that's really all I got. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.